what's up, guys? Dale Valor here from Modern Valor Dating. Listen, one of the things that I see come up so much that guys ask us in our Facebook group and on Instagram and things like that is dealing with emotions. Should I be super stoic? Should I have a lot of energy? Should I be a lot of fun? Should I just be chill? Talking about all these different emotional and energy related dynamics. You know, controlling your emotions and not letting them control you is such a strong frame to come from, because so many people just lose their shit, depending on the situation. And so what we're going to talk about is how to control your emotions, how to handle your emotions, and how to act accordingly. All right, we're going to get into it right now. Let's go. Number one, the proper emotions. All right, one of the 5 attraction triggers is being able to emote. And what does being able to emote even mean? Well, it means this. It's having the right emotions for the right situation. In other words, when you should be happy, you're happy. When you should be sad, you're sad. When you should be empathetic, you're empathetic. When you're angry, you're angry. You see what I'm saying? Depending on what the context is, your emotions match the situation that's going on. If I walk up to you and I just slap you right in the face and you just start laughing and then you start crying and you just look like an emotional basket case. In that context, you should be very upset, and nobody would blame you for being mad that some stranger just walked up and blasted you in the grill. You should be able to understand the emotions that go with the right situation. One way to look at it is like this. Think about the times that somebody did something to you, good or bad. How did you feel about it? How did you react to it? When I was growing up, man, when I was like in junior high and then through high school and even into my early 20s, nothing upset me. You could do anything you wanted to me, basically, and I wouldn't be upset about it. Now, I wouldn't want those things to happen, but just nothing ever really pissed me off, anything. You know, there'd be no triggers that you could touch that would bother me. Now, some people might say, okay, that's a good thing because I'm very non-reactive to stuff. But ultimately what it was is that I was afraid to show the right emotion. See, I would feel guilty if I was angry or if I was sad or whatever. You know, any kind of like quote unquote negative emotion, I would feel guilty about that. I shouldn't have that, so I would bury it. And that's not a good thing, man, because ultimately what can happen is if you do that, it's just gonna come up. Like, because you're not gonna be able to suppress that forever. You have to handle each situation the right way. Obviously, someone comes up and does something to you, you don't justify any action by the fact that you were angry, but at the same time, what you feel is what you feel, and you should be able to express that, and it should make sense in the right context. So think about that. Think about the times in your life when you were angry, when you were sad, when you were happy, when you felt loved, and things like that. Now, really analyze it. Be honest with yourself. Were those the right emotions, and did you express them correctly in those situations? All right, we're going to get to number 2. Let's go. Number 2, allow yourself to feel. Okay, so like what I was saying in the first point, if you feel an emotion, that doesn't mean you have to act on that emotion in an aggressive way or over the top way, whether good or bad, the emotion, right? If it's a good, like happy emotion, you don't have to just like go out of your way to like basically overcompensate for it. So if somebody does something nice for you, like I don't know, your car breaks down and they give you a ride to work. That doesn't mean that you have to now go build them an extension on their house. It doesn't have to way over the top with it, okay? Because a lot of times when people do that, what you're really looking for is, yeah, you're showing appreciation, but you're trying to reinforce that that person likes you. Whatever emotion you feel, it's okay to feel that emotion. You don't have to block it. You don't have to suppress it. Like I was talking about earlier, that's what I used to do, is suppress anything that would be labeled a quote unquote negative emotion. All right, and that wasn't a good, healthy thing to do. And I've matured since then. I've realized not to do that. So I'm trying to tell you now, don't be that guy. Don't do that. Now, you don't have to act on those emotions. Like, you may get road rage, right? Somebody cuts you off and you are pissed off and you want nothing more than to take a wrench and beat that guy's skull in. Now, that would be an inappropriate action, right? Because the consequences of that are going to lead to something way more severe than you just being upset, right? So, look, controlling your emotions isn't really controlling your emotions. You feel what you feel, and that's okay. When you feel an emotion, try to be as objective as you can. Like, if your buddy was going through that same thing, what would you tell him? Right? And more often than not, that's probably the right thing to do. And you say, oh, it's harder because it's you and you're the one going through it and you're the one dealing with it. And yes, you are correct. It is harder, but it's not impossible. It's something that you can do. A man that has inner strength can do that, all right? You just take it on, you get it done, you don't let the emotions control you and your actions like that, okay? All right, we're gonna get number 3, let's go. Number 3, emotions are changeable, man. Look, emotions come and go like the tide, right? Like, I'm on the beach right now. You know, the tide rolls in, the tide rolls out. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad. You know, like, it just happens that way. They come and they go. It's not something that just attaches to you and remains. So here's the deal. A lot of times you hear guys talk about being in state, you know, like having a state. And think of it like this. It's a state of mind or a state of being. So if you're angry and say you're going to be going to a party later and you want to be up for this party, you know, and you don't want to go there angry. Maybe you just got into a tiff with your girl and now you're all mad and salty and you got to go to this party. You want to be up for it, but you're mad, you know. So look, there's different things that you can do, man. You can meditate, listen to some of your favorite music, do some exercise, you know, maybe like watch some stand-up comedy on YouTube or something, read. There's things that you can do to take you out of that element, to take your mind out of that a little bit, you know, so you start feeling a little bit different of an emotion. See, think of it like this. How many times have you not felt like going out and being social with people? And then you go out and you start being social, you push yourself a little bit, and then before you know it, you're the social butterfly. You're talking to everybody, and you feel good about it. You changed your state. You didn't feel like it. That was your state then. By doing the practice of where you want to be, now the mind catches up with you a little bit. It's kind of like motivation. You know, a lot of times people don't do something until they feel motivated. But that emotion's gonna wane, man. You know, that motivation's gonna come and go. So are you only gonna get things done when you feel motivated? Or are you gonna do it because it needs to be done? If you want to feel motivated, start doing the action. And by doing the action, you will start to feel motivated from there. Don't wait to feel the motivation first. Start feeling the motivation and then finish the task. All right? Okay, we're gonna get into the next one. Let's go. Number 4, emotions are contagious. I'm a guy with a lot of energy, and I just did a podcast a couple of weeks ago with my buddy Jared Psych Lawrence. I was introducing him to the video that we were gonna be doing, so I'm pumping him up like, this guy, he's done X, Y, and Z, and like, I really like what it is that he has to say and the content he's putting out there. He's out here crushing it, and when he came into it, he was like matching my energy level, and he was like, dude, that is so contagious, and he's 100% right. Okay, because look, if you have a strong emotion, the people that you get around are gonna feel that too, and it's gonna be reciprocal. If you are sad and you go to somewhere with a bunch of your buddies and you start having a good time and things like that, that's gonna lift your spirits because they're already pumped up and ready to go. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast earlier this week. He was talking about when 9/11 happened. He was posted up with like 3 or 4 other comedians at the same time in this room when it was going down. You know, you couldn't go anywhere. All you could do is just watch what was happening on the news. As tragic as that was, they were able to keep each other's spirits up by making jokes, not jokes about what happened necessarily, but jokes about whatever. Somebody's doing something silly and somebody, you know, people start clowning him and they start making jokes off of that. That helped keep their spirits up and a sense of hope. This isn't the end. Things are going to keep moving forward and keep progressing and keep getting better. That's what I'm saying, is that if you're around people that have the type of mindset, state, emotions that you want, be around those people because they're contagious. If you're around a bunch of people that are sad, you're likely to be sad too, man. If you're around a bunch of angry people, you're going to be angry too. It's like mob mentality. All right, we're gonna hop into the next one. Let's go. Hey guys, want to take this quick time out just to remind you, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, man. We want to be able to bring you this information as quickly as possible. If you're getting value out of it, man, it costs you nothing to subscribe to the channel, but it means a lot to us because we can keep going, we can keep moving forward. So make sure you do that. Also, give us a thumbs up, man. Drop a comment in the comment section on things that you want us to cover, or whatever the topic of the video is about, chop it up with us, man. Let us know what you think, so drop that comment, share it with somebody that you know needs to hear it. Also, the last Saturday of every month, we do a live Zoom event. We will have it linked up here. And what I want you to do is register for that, man. It's 100% free. This month, we're going to be talking about social circle game. So what does it mean to build out a social circle? How you can do that? Why is that important? We're going to give you all those answers, man, and show you step by step how to do that for it to work for you. Remember, the last Saturday of every month. All right, we're going to hop back into the video. Let's get it. Number 5, discipline yourself. All right, so look, if you're the type of person that flies off the handle, if you're the type of person that when something upsetting happens, you just fall into shambles, or, you get upset at something, you start throwing plates against the wall, or whatever the case might be, check yourself, discipline yourself, start thinking before you act. Challenge yourself to do that. Probably right off the jump aren't going to hit it 100% of the time. The more that you check yourself and think to yourself, I have to think before I act, and I make myself objective in this situation. I take myself out of the situation. How would a rational person react in this moment? Look, the more that you do that, the better you're going to be able to handle things, the better you're going to be able to get over things and not let your emotions control who you are and not define who you are. So listen, in the comments, what I would like you to do is, what are some ways that you like to self-discipline yourself? What are some ways that you like to try to check your emotional levels, not react before thinking? I'd love to hear that, love to have a conversation with you guys about that. So definitely drop that down there. So earlier in the video, we were talking about emoting, the proper emotions for the proper time. A little while back, we did a video on the 5 attraction triggers. And one of those attraction triggers is the ability to emote. So what I want you to do is go to that video. We go super deep on all the 5 attraction triggers. And what you're gonna find is different ways that you can step up your game to start triggering some of those attraction triggers, leveling up in your dating life. All right, guys, I will see you there.